Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Veronica Taylor, and I am back. I am living, and I am striving, or at least trying to. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm here. And today, finally, it has come. I'm going to be doing my first ever anime review, or should I say, I watched it, so you didn't have to. Wow. We're going to be reviewing the anime 7 Seeds, which should appear somewhere over here. Yeah, and it is available on Netflix currently. And this is going to be my review and I guess a little bit of reaction, not really, of why I think, you don't really need to bother watching it. So let's get into it, okay? And just to let you guys know, I am reading a little bit off my computer right here in front of me because I can't remember everything about what I wrote, especially when it comes to the background of it, okay? So let's go into it. So, 7 Seeds is a Netflix original animated series based off the manga of the same name by Yumi Tamuda. It is set in a post-apocalyptic world where there's like 5 different groups of people named by season. I know you're probably like, there are 4 seasons in a year. Yeah, I know. But this one, they divided one of the teams, Team Summer A and B, okay? So it's divided. Just letting you know. I'm not stupid. So, they divide into teams. They're traveling this post-apocalyptic world that they just woke up into. And they gotta survive through these, like, mind, blood-sucking creatures and all that type of crap, the usual post-apocalyptic story. Well, we haven't heard, but I guess it's, like, the first because it was published in 2001. By Shokakuen. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Shokakuen is the one who published it. So I guess it was like the original before like the whole Maze Runner and the Divergent series, all that type of ish. So, and I wasn't really much of a fan of those. I was always more of a Twilight fan, but that's never mind the fact, okay? So, anywho, it's post-apocalyptic series and that's about it. So, the story. Let's get into it. So the story starts off with this like deep, mysterious quote, blah blah blah. Over that type of ish, the usual. And so it starts out with this young 16-year-old girl named Natsu, which is supposed to be a play off of the Japanese word Natsu, which means summer, which I don't really see a correlation because she's really an insignificant character to me, but that's just me. And so basically she wakes up on this boat straight out of Resident Evil, red lights flashing everywhere, and some girl with braids, all deep voice and whatnot, comes rushing on up and telling her, go this way, we gotta leave. Soon they're on a raft full of other people. I don't know where they came from either. And now they hit land later on after, this whole massacre on a boat. And they're on land and they gotta survive. Well, now, the question's, well, how did they get here, right? So, one of the characters is supposed to be like your typical delinquent character. He's like untrustworthy, a liar, and his mom sold him for like little to nothing, which we'll talk about later, I guess. And so, he gets, Botan, yeah, that's her name, to basically say why they're here, because he feels like she knows something, because she's like all packed and ready to go. So, yeah, obvious giveaway right there. And so she finally sits them down and tells them, well, you actually just woke up from sleep. We are Team Summer B, which is actually the worst team. And you are now with me, and I am your guide. Japanese government has put them to sleep to wake up in this world to survive on their own and see how they survive to like make sure humanity doesn't go extinct. Honestly, if that was me, let me stay extinct. I don't need to wake up. Let me go to sleep. Let me go up. I don't need to stay down here. Like, What's down here for me? I mean, I ain't got no hair products. I ain't that ain't gonna work for me. It might work for them, but it ain't working for me. Anywho, they wake up and then she tells them, oh yeah, there's like 3 people missing from our team, but they're really insignificant, so there's no point in me mentioning them. And so they're like, oh, okay, you know, they're stunned. They're like, they can't take it, especially Arashi, who's in love with some girl named Hana, who's in a whole nother team, bringing me to Team Spring. I believe that's the team she's in. Yeah, Team Spring. So Hana's with her team, you know, full of other people who are really kind of insignificant to the story, including a little boy who decided to put this little boy to sleep and wake him up. Like, what was he gonna do? He a little boy. Like, we can make kids, so I don't understand the whole purpose of a little boy. Maybe for sincere and innocence. We can get innocence another day. We don't need innocence in this time living in the apocalypse. You know what I mean? So, anywho, she has a little boy. Then she got some other insignificant characters who really all they do is say from time to time, are you okay? Are you okay? And then they got this guy who like dies early on because, you know, he gets taken over by like man-eating crickets. I don't even know. And so she's like the main character of her team, you know. Basically, she's a tomboy, pretty, but doesn't know it. And, you know, she's flirtatious, but doesn't know it. And she's in love with Arashi also, who is in Team Summer B. And, you know, their only hope for surviving is just to meet with each other, which, you know, that doesn't work out, at least from what I've seen so far. But anywho, Team Summer B, 3 of them, Natsu, Arashi, and the guy with the delinquent with the long hair, his name was what? Hold on, let me find it here. Semimaru. I think I'm saying it right. Semimaru or Semaimaru. Pretty sure it's Semimaru. We're gonna go with that, okay? So they decide to set off because they're tired of being with the team, and after finding their shelter they want to go, and plus the Arashi because he has to find Hannah. He loves Hannah. Gotta get Hannah. So, you know, he gotta get Hannah. Sorry, I'm a little hungry. So I guess it's gonna be starring my Pringles, which are sukiyaki flavored. Anywho, they go off to find Hannah, and Natsu decides to come along because she's secretly in love with Arashi, which serves really no purpose in the story. Anywho, going back to Team Spring, Team Spring starts going around, and they get caught up in some mess with some, you know, man-eating crickets, and like, what? Some crocodiles or something and a waterfall. I can't remember. So they're trying not to get killed, basically. And then, you know, with Team Summer B, the 3 setting out to go find Hana, they came across Jesus. Yes. Or should I say Noah? His real name is, once again, let me find it, Takahiro. That's who they came across. And basically, he has this whole Noah, the art thing going around him. He has like the little Jesus cap and whatnot. And the first scene that they show him in, he's sitting on a hill with a bunch of dogs. Like, supposed to be all mysterious, but really it's like, I don't get it. Anywho, they meet him, and he tells them how he was in Team Winter, who liked the winter, hibernated, but they just never woke up. So, yeah, really, honestly. Like, 3 of them never woke up. And then, so, him and 2 others did wake up. Or, no, I take that back. There was, like, man, I don't even know. Some of them didn't wake up. Then later on, some of them died. And then there was 3. And then, some tiger, who somehow ended up in Japan. I don't know, maybe he escaped from a zoo. Maybe it was the Ueno Zoo. You know what? Maybe it was that lion that everybody was waiting an hour in line for. Maybe. So 2 of his friends die after being attacked by this lion. But one of them does a dance and somehow freezes. You know, I don't know how that happens. She danced and froze to death while dancing. So he's all alone. Present day, he's made friends with all the wolves, you know. So he tries to be friendly to them, but they think he's suspicious, so they leave him. And he's doing the whole "I'm alone again" type of bull crap, basically. Then they go on still on search for Arashi. And so then they stumble across another team, which is Team Autumn. And these two, like, buff, gold, you know, group of people. Two of them come out, you know, willing and dealing, you know, killing everything. They come out freaking eating, like, freaking gooses raw. Like, I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, who did this? They come out, you know, the cornfields, eating goose raw. Whatever. Their names are Akio and Ron. Probably saying that wrong. They're kind of like a couple and the leaders of the whole, like, group, Team Autumn, but they're not the original leaders. And so they're kind of like a couple, but they've kind of like decided to not reproduce because they have like this grudge against the government for putting them here in the apocalypse, which I would too, honestly. Like, don't put me here. There ain't no hair products, there ain't no Chick-fil-A, you know, there's nothing here. Like, what am I gonna do? Let me die. And so basically they're suspicious of Natsu, Semi, and Arashi. I don't even care anymore. Like, this is just how uninterested I was in the anime. They just think they're suspicious, so they decide, well, you know what? We're gonna tie you up. So they decide to tie them up. But one of the guides named Roya decides to let them go. He was like the original guide, and he has like this horrible like suntan where, like, you know, like the dad suntan where it's like white around the eyes but tan everywhere else. He lets them go with the tearful cry, you know, hair waving behind him. Now all this is done, you know, they have a few incidents, and so does some Spring, and so does their original team, Summer B. They do meet up with the other three members, but like I said, they're uninteresting. They really serve no purpose. So Team Summer B gets stuck in some like ditch or landslide or whatever, and they gotta deal with that incident. That's all I know, right? So anywho, going back, Spring meets up with the first team to be awoken in the apocalyptic Japan. So Spring ends up meeting with the original team that first woke up in the world, which is Team Summer A, which actually consists of a whole bunch of kids who were like genetically prepared and made by the government in Japan to survive the apocalypse because they knew it was coming, and they think they were the best team to really help humanity and guide the other teams. So they're the first team to be awakened. They end up meeting Spring after, you know, almost like killing them. And basically it consists of the three main characters. You've got Ro, Ongo, and Koruri, which is like this little girl who looks 13 still, even though like 15 years have passed. And I'm like, I don't see a correlation, but yeah, that's them. And basically they're suspicious of Team Spring, and I guess their suspicion is right because it turns out that Hana's dad is the one who led the whole experiment, and they have like this huge resentment for Hana's dad because he made them do a whole bunch of horrible things, you know, like having to make sacrifices and killing off their friends. Who I'm pretty sure Ro had like a secret deep love for his friend, like, you know, like, I want to be with you, like, be with you, you know, and not just like, oh, the typical anime like friend love. It was like on a deeper level. So they had that going. I guess that's for the yaoi lovers out there. Honestly, that love was so subpar. Even the yaoi lovers were like, ugh, you know. And I know, because my friend was like a super yaoi lover. Shout out Layla. So, anyways, they're pissed at Hannah, but the only one who really shows it is Ango, who does things like degrading her and like pushing her around, and then even tries to like rape her at one point, but he stopped. And it's funny because the actual person who tries to kill Hannah is Ro, the one with the long blonde hair and whatnot, and he doesn't succeed. You know, she survives. And this is funny because the time he decides to kill her is the time that they were looking for water, which should have been their main goal because you kind of need water to live. But he decided it was more important to cut her off. Well, they never even get the water. And so then Hannah gets, you know, swept away in the water. And I should have mentioned Noah. He has fallen in love with Hannah by this point. So when he sees her off in the water, he's just like horrified. Well, before Hannah leaves, she lets everybody know that Ro tried to kill her. So then the story ends basically with Noah, no, I already forgot his name, going up and saying like, I will never let you go. I will make sure that I do everything to protect you. And we're thinking, oh, he's gonna dive in the water. Nope. He goes back, leaves Hannah to float off, and he grabs Ro by the shirt, threatens him, and that's it. That's the end of the story. So me personally, I have never been so disinterested in a story. Like, this was the most boring story I've ever seen in my life. Like, most boring anime I've ever seen. Like, I was like, what is this? Like, the whole time, if you can see, I look disinterested because I tried to do like a reaction video, but it didn't really work out. So I'm doing more of a review now. Well, if you can see in this reaction thing, I was like just so disinterested. I was more disinterested in this story than Tristan was than in Chloe. Okay? And why I didn't like the story, you might be asking, if it didn't already kind of like tell you why. The first reason I would have to say is the characters. The character development was horrible. You were always set up with something that might be promising or interesting about a character, but then it just fell flat. For example, the two like buff people, what were their names? Rio and like Aga. I'm so disinterested, I don't even know. We're gonna make them names. Ro and Aga. These two. They come out, you know, tearing heads off of ducks and, you know, drinking their blood raw. After that, they gonna smoke a blunt and then they're really never to be heard of from again. Like, they're just kind of background characters doing the whole, are you okay? Do you need help? That type of thing. And then we've got, you know, the typical characters like Natsu, who's basically the 16-year-old shy girl who's cute and later on tries to serve a purpose but never really does serve a purpose besides deciding that some mushrooms aren't poison. You got Hannah, whatever, typical, you know, tomboy girl. And then you got the delinquent, and then the boy who's saying, you don't know how bad I am and what I did in my past, Arashi. You know, typical character, you know, and there was no development in character either. Secondly, I didn't really like, I didn't like the storyline. It was basic. It was like any other post-apocalyptic story. Big man eating, you know, animals, and they're trying to survive, and they don't know how they got here, and they gotta figure it out. And tell me why they had the same 3 damn main human eating animals. You had the crickets, it had the rats, and we had a lion who somehow appeared in Japan out of nowhere, probably from the Ueno Zoo, came about. And those were like the only 3 animals we ever saw that were hybrids. That was it. Maybe their budget wasn't big enough to draw any more animals. I don't know. They could at least did a squirrel. Oh, they did have dogs. Well, they had wolves. I would correct me on that. They had wolves. But like, they could have did more, right? So I wasn't impressed with the storyline. It was boring. It fell flat. It was the same old thing. Next, and the last reason why, I hated, honestly, the drawing. I was like, they literally used the colors from a 36 pack of crayons. Like, they could have at least gone for the 48 pack, right? Like, is that just me? Because I know when I was a kid, I would always think big, you know, trying to get that 48 pack, you know, of crayons, to be that kid with a little sharpener inside your little thing and be all cool to elementary school. But my mom was always like, nope, you getting the 12 pack, go on over to the aisle in Staples, the one that's on sale actually, and get that 12 pack, and we gonna go. We're gonna start the new school year. That was me, and I guess that's what they did. They said, we're gonna start this new season and we're gonna get the 12 pack, and that's what they did. So the colors were boring and flat, and there was no, like, nothing. It was just nothing. And then tell me why they had this lion that looked like a 6th grader freaking drew it. I was like, this is the most deprived and sad lion. Now I know why it wants to kill you, because it's depressed and sad. And I also just thought, like, why didn't they stick to, like, the original drawings of the manga, you know, or at least, like, the color and the aesthetic, you know, with the mysteriousness and the gloominess and, you know, the big eyes and the, like, 5 finger and toes forehead. Or maybe not. That was a little rough. Maybe they could have just found, like, a in between, you know? But honestly, I was just disappointed in it, and those are my reasons why I just say, you know, you shouldn't watch it. But you don't have to go off of what I said. If you still want to see for yourself, go ahead. Waste 5 hours of your life. Go ahead and watch it. Come back down below and you can comment and say, I wasted 5 hours of my life, because I know that's probably what you're going to say. Other than that, that is my review of... I forgot what the title was. I watched it so you didn't have to. Yeah. So guys, that is the end of this video today and review, and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and coming back to watch this video. And if you're new, thank you for watching this video. I know it's a little rough around the edges because it is my first time doing a review, but I tried to make it as interesting as possible. And I am going to try to upload more videos, maybe not always reviews, maybe times about, you know, my time in life here in Japan. And like I said, I am still settling in Japan, and I'm still dealing with so much with work and school and also this leg injury. So it's a lot going on, but I do try to upload when I can or make a video when I can. But once again, thank you for coming back. And if you did like this video, make sure to give this video a big, fat thumbs up, please. And also, if you like me, the pepperoni, please make sure to subscribe to this channel so you can become a pepperoni too, okay? But other than that, I will see you next time, and also make sure to follow me on social media. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Bye. I should know my phone. I swear to God, if I touch this brightness one more time, I should know my phone by now, though. You're trying to take away all this melanin. You're not taking away all this melanin, okay? So you better back up, because you're not getting it. You're not getting it. Just zoom. Oh my gosh. You know what? Forget it. Forget it.